You know what I like about this? You actually are legitimately playing Breath of Fire 3. This isn't one of those things like for the video or anything. I want to point something out that he's got this big fucking crack inside of his PSP, and it is the most terrifying thing to look at.
Yeah,
it makes me fucking die inside.
But the PSP was only $40, so you know,
kind of hard to argue. Plus, modding those bitches, fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. It becomes a portable Neo Geo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Game Boy Advance, PlayStation 1.
Play all of my emulated games in general.
So convenient.
I wish you could get up to like PS2 levels. I want a handheld PS2.
The Vita could.
You know.
Did they mod that?
No, not yet. I mean,
they've
they just recently had somebody that like everyone. What is it? The 3.60 firmware or whatever, 6.60. I forget. But like the most recent firmware went beyond 0.60, and like 0.60 firmware was cracked though. Like, well, under special circumstances.
I know that if you want to get
not nearly as much as the PS.
They have a way you can downgrade it. So there's that. Even if you go beyond the regular firmware, you can still get it. Guess I should do introductions.
What about myself?
All by it, and that's the worst part, by the way. Myself. Greetings and salutations. This is the incomparable AlphaOmegaSin. I am here with my two best friends. To my left is Jarrett. To my right is Sean.
Hi.
We're going to talk about Breath of Fire 3. The title already suggests that, as does the thumbnail. Unless you were too fucking stupid to be able to read, then there you go. Unfortunately, you should probably avoid this game at any and all costs. But 20th anniversary, Breath of Fire 3. We've been playing for 2 decades. We're officially old and we're gonna die. So, I figure I'd just let you guys know that. You're the reason I started playing.
You don't have to remind me.
You know that?
I don't... You had the game before me.
Yeah. I'm talking, like, the actual series in general, though.
Oh. Okay.
So... You talked about dragons and shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well...
Yeah, I mean, Sean is the reason that I played this game in the first place. Yeah. And because he was like, well, there's dragons in the chair. I was like, yeah!
That's
dragons.
I remember when you guys sold me on Dragon Ball Z, you said it, and I quote, "It's like an RPG. They actually gain levels and experience." I was just like, yeah. But, like, when we were kids, like, we were biggest fucking dorks for dragons. Then they became adults and became even bigger dorks for dragons. So nothing changed. I mean, Ryu actually turns into, like, a shit ton of different dragons, all different colors and everything. It's fucking...
That numerical amount exactly.
No, the whole gene mixing system, though, is
awesome.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's just the... I mean, especially for, like...
And broken and overpowered.
So many times in battle, like, turning into a dragon's overkill. Like just don't.
That is definitely one thing, is that the protagonist... They make such a big deal about the Brood being so powerful and being able to destroy the entire world,
Everything.
And they literally make me feel that way with Ryu.
I love the way, because you see, they build up Gar as like this big badass, he will beat the fuck out of everybody, then you beat him. And then all of a sudden he's just like, well, my kind, we're killing dragons, and oh shit. You were just letting me win. No! And then... You're just you're super god.
I always like
dragon.
the fact that like you had real like RPG-esque progression, not just in like level sense, but also of the characters.
Yeah.
Like you start off as like a little ass child wearing a fucking t-shirt and like robbing a town, basically.
And a great introduction to a game. Like in terms of like straight up fucking role-playing game intros, one of the best. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Good. You said it's like. It's so intense. You wake up as this little fucking dragon whelp, and you're getting the shit beaten out of you, and you fucking torch everybody, turn
Which is, by the way,
jerky.
maybe the best opening an RPG could possibly have.
It's true. Dude, think about it. I mean, you're already a dragon.
Yeah.
They're just like, we're just gonna cut out all the bullshit. We know you want to be a dragon. Fuck it, just be a dragon now. I was like, okay, we can do this. And like, you're running around, and you keep on finding all the other different fucking genes, and you keep combining them together. Like, how obsessive did we get about that shit growing up? We were like, oh, guess what I found? And then printing out the game facts strategy guides from the fucking the library and shit. We're like, now we know everything.
No, actually, I think my exact thought at that moment is, what page number are we on?
Yeah.
Like, are they going to shut this shit off? Like, page 64? How long is this?
Dude, I'm pretty sure that we probably increased, like, the amount of money that they spent
We're
on
probably
ink
the reason why they started charging per page.
Like, it's... Like, you know, with the advent of the internet, we don't gotta worry about that shit. But, goddamn, like, back then, we were like, can't afford a strategy guide? Make your own! This fucking thick, can't even put staples through it. You'd have a nail gun. Have a better chance. Fucking crucify the shit. But, one of the things I thought was interesting, that we didn't plan on actually all playing Breath of Fire 3 20 years later to the date of its release.
No, you guys just interrupted me getting my Platinum Trophy in Persona 5. And I was like, no, I have to finish this game. I'm 200 hours in. I don't want to waste it. And then you both just like, Breath of Fire, Ryu, Guard, Masters, Jeans. And I'm like, oh my god, I want to still play it again.
This motherfucker's full of shit. I want to point something out. I told him, Jarrett, you can't play 2 RPGs at the same time. And he was just like, what? And you know what? Now he's complaining. Like,
It's technically like 3 at this point.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What else are you playing?
He started up Bravely Default.
I started Bravely Default.
Foolish mortal! What the fuck, man? Okay, so I was really in the mood to go and play because of like live streaming and shit. I was like, man, I'm really in the mood for Breath of Fire 3. That'd be fun to live stream. So then I started talking about it in the chat.
I popped into your live stream every time you've played it, basically. I was like, wow, somebody's playing Breath of Fire. I was like, oh, this is great!
Sean's like, yeah, I want to play it. So he starts playing. So then we're just clucking about Breath of Fire, and then Jarrett's just sitting on the sideline, and he's just like, I need it, I fucking need it!
I really was, though. I was like, you can't start another RPG, and I'm like, man, he's right, I shouldn't do that. I'm gonna be distracted, I'm not gonna get the same quality from the game, and then you just kept going and going. I'm like, oh, I'm so far behind.
Dude, it was... Like, I couldn't help it. Like, I was like, man, I need to play this shit. Like, I was sitting there debating between Grandia and Breath of Fire 3. I was like, I need Breath of Fire 3. And then I was thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute, it's 2017.
Wait, Grandia 1 or Grandia 2?
1.
I actually played Grandia 1 like last year.
I replayed through Grandia 2 recently because they re-released on PC. Fucking super pretty. I don't know why they don't, I'm hoping Game Arts actually puts that shit on like PS4, because, dude, I'll buy it for a 3rd time. No, 4th time.
What I really like about the game is just like the rivalry you build up with Tipo.
Yeah.
Like he's such an awesome character.
Tipo's such a dick when he's a kid. Like, he's such a little asshole.
He really is too.
And that like really disappointed me at the end of the game when he's like, it's 20 years old.
I mean, somebody in there's gonna be like,
well, Alpha, I haven't played
I haven't played it yet.
You know, when I said that Eris dies, I had somebody like, spoilers. I'm like, I've tripped over Eris death scenes on the internet more than porn. Jesus fuck.
They sell that death scene as an action figure duo in the stores.
I have a 3D printed one on my shelf because it was like the best scene ever. So Tipo, like you were saying, Tipo.
Oh,
reminds me of Delita.
He's such a.
Oh my god! I never fucking thought about that.
He's such a headstrong, his own way kind of guy.
I think what he's saying is he's an asshole.
He keeps telling you. He keeps telling you how powerful you are, how you don't belong with them, how the two of you are different. And then you go and find him again, finally at the end, and he's like, no, I'm this bitch's bitch. I'm a little lapdog dragon. Meow. Like...
I mean, not everybody can be Ryu.
I mean, no, not everyone can be Ryu, but he could have been Ryu's best friend.
Here, you know what the real problem was?
You know?
He didn't... If Tipo would have adopted the blue dickhead haircut and then went fishing a lot, he probably wouldn't have been somebody's bitch. Because that's what really makes a man, is building up a fairy village and going fishing a lot. That's what makes a real man,
And I have to cross over to 4 for just a moment. Because that was like, I think, one of the best endings of an RPG could have had.
I forget how 4 ends.
At the end of 4,
we're gonna be like...
you go up and you meet Foul Lu, your counterpart, the other half of you, and he gives you a choice. And your choice is, well, aren't the humans idiots? Don't they need exterminated?
Yep. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah! And then the final boss battle started, and I looked down at my life bar, and there was only one life bar. And I was like, well, where did my party go? And then I look up at where all the enemies are, and all the enemies are my party. And then I nuked them, and they all died. And I was so happy. It was beautiful.
Totally worth it. It's something completely off track. Want to point out here is we like mini games in our RPGs. Mini games are fucking amazing. Side quests, you get lost in doing that shit. Sometimes you play for over 100 hours in Final Fantasy 15 and are only on chapter 2.
3. He's on 3.
Oh shit! Oh shit! My bad. My bad.
I mean, it's a problem with open world games, though.
Breath of Fire 3 has the fairy village.
The 4 is the main quest.
It's the fairy village and fishing. And I mean, Japan loves their fucking fishing. Like,
Breath of Fire 3 had the best fishing mechanic out of any game ever. And I don't just mean RPG minigames.
So
I mean like big bass fishermen and shit.
Dude, I was fucking saying the other day, they got that bass fishing controller on Dreamcast. I'm like, I swear to fucking God, if somebody mods this shit, I will play the whole fucking game just. I will play the fuck out of that. Oh my God, I wish that was a thing now. If Capcom, if for whatever reason you just decided to basically dumpster dive on YouTube and find my videos, please implement that for no reason other than for lulz and shit. Because that'd be amazing. And by the way, I completely forgot about it until like it was happening when I went to the fairy village. I forgot how often they call you dummy. Yeah. Those bitches are forever just calling me fucking dummy. I'm like all I want to do is just like punch one of them tender face. Like, now what? Like,
you'd get fairy goo on you.
I mean, yeah, I would.
Just bugs.
they come out of the little eggplant-looking sacks and just like they just little fucking
Sean's
bitches.
The bad guy in the RPG.
Sean's Tipo. Like, you wouldn't have
bugs.
You wouldn't be a bitch, though,
But they get married and they have lives. Bugs. Bug lives.
Look at it! An entire village! Oh, and the fucking dolphin who shows up in his house and he's like...
The Australian dolphin.
And I like the fact that they actually had the fucking... Would you like an English translation? Well, yes, I would. And like, when I saw that shit, I remember trying to read the Australian version out loud during the live stream, and I was like, oh my God, my accent for this is fucking abysmal. I think I was Dutch at one point, and then another time I was British, and I was like, not doing good.
But my heavy caro.
Dude, they ended up giving you, like, they gave you a sim. Like, they gave you a sim within a role-playing game, and then a fishing game, and full-fledged sim game, mind you. Not just like, oh, half-ass for shits and giggles.
It has actual benefits to using it.
Big time. Like, there's a lot of different items and shit that you can only get through that. And I was just like, alright, plus it's
duplicate items.
Yeah.
You can also change your party members' names.
Which I never do. So.
I mean, no, but the fact that it's there.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
that's just silly.
I'm one of those people, like, even
when
I
have to talk about the game later, and you're like, well, Danny was the best character in the game, and like, who the fuck are you talking about? Well, Alfred and Ben were really cool. I'm like, stop.
I love using Pilfer with Bob. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bob, he's real badass. Remember when he goes into Were Bob? Like, yeah, Were Bob with his Were Bob claws. Like, Bobcat? Yeah, fuck it, all works. That all came full circle. Are you still fishing?
Yeah, well, no, I stopped because I lost my best worm. Had the heavy caro.
The best worm
that you get in the beginning.
No,
I lost it.
The best.
And now I have to I have to load from my save file basically because I don't want to lose it.
Yeah. So while we're getting to discussing this, like, one of the things I was sitting there talking about, like, this is a game that was actually a huge part of our childhood, and that's one of the things that I like about it. Is one, we've been friends for too fucking long now, and we've been playing the same game. Like, we all played Persona 5 at the same exact time. And Breath of Fire 3, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy Tactics, Castlevania Symphony Night. Like, we've got tons of different games where we are all playing at the same exact time. And Breath of Fire 3 was one that we played way back in the day when we were kids. Sean here knows more about it than all three of us combined.
Oh yeah.
I just played it more.
I mean, how many times have you beat it? Like 8?
At least.
Like, I've beaten it once. Like, that's it. And I mean, that's still a lot for an RPG.
I've played it a lot. I've only beaten it once.
But it's still...
But I mean, I played all the way through the game and then just not finished it because I'm irresponsible.
You know what I do often with a lot of games? I'll play right up to the end. I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, you didn't finish it. It's the equivalent
Except
of
open world games, and then I do that at the beginning of the game. I'm like, well, I can do whatever. They're like, yeah, and I'm like, well, I'm done.
Wait, did you say side quest? You meant main quest. Yeah, let's do that. Another thing about it that, like, we were talking about is the fucking music in this game is amazing. And it was weird because I came across this one review talking about how the soundtrack is not that great. And it was the first time I've ever encountered somebody saying something negative. It's like smooth jazz and just like MIDI all mixed together, and it's so good. But, like, the music actually goes with it.
Appropriate.
Yeah,
definitely. Get you all fucking invested in the game.
Good battle theme. The town themes that they have are good. The dungeon themes. The one spooky theme that they have inside the McNeil Mansion. That shit sounds like something from Resident Evil.
Especially on an old game like this, where the sprites are just going around and making small movements, and then Sean describes them. He's like, he walked up to the cave, and he was like... and really, it's like... You know, like, the music sets the tone for you to actually, like, imagine what's really happening and, like, get immersed into the actual game. You know, like, they're not... Like, old games like this aren't like Final Fantasy 15, where, like, everything is spelled out for you. Yeah. You know? Like, you had to, like, really want to get into the game, and, like, the music is what draws you in. Like, it's what makes, like, the text actually seem meaningful.
You
and,
talk
like, the
about it like it's so crude, like they developed it with rocks and sticks.
Yeah.
And they're just me and roleplay.
It's more like reading a book. You know? Like, video games have become this whole different fucking activity. You know, like, and it's like a lot of people won't play old games. They go, well, that's boring. I can't.
It doesn't have a current.
I can't get into them.
Bandwagon.
You know, like, we should have multiplayer. You know, like,
I will say this: if Breath of Fire 3 did have multiplayer, and we could just control a character in battle each, I'd be like, yeah, let's do that. Like, but all you're doing is just like. You're probably just gonna hit attack the entire time. Like, but I got to hit X. I joined in. I'm helping.
The music definitely turned it from like a good game to a great game.
It did. Dude, I've got the entire soundtrack downloaded, and I mean, I'd owned the fucking physical one. I actually got the one video game convention I went to. Somebody had a bunch of Japanese games. I bought Breath of Fire 3 for shits and giggles just because of art on the cover of it, and I thought it was amazing. I got the PSP version, which is just the PS1 version, but it was in portable form. Great, Jarrett's
there are slight differences.
Such as?
In the PSP version, they changed Balio and Sunder's colors when they morphed together, how they look like Ultraman.
Yeah.
In the PS1 version, they changed his colors from the silver, blue, and red to brown.
And the weird thing about that is...
Sean, why do you know that? You know more about this game than everybody, and I'm like, yeah, I totally agree, but that's not what I expected. Like, that was
Sean need to come in like, well, actually, like, just push the glasses up. Well, actually, you see, at the one point in the game, whenever they combine together and they do the fusion dance, to avoid any kind of copyright claims that would be placed upon the game, due to the amount of time that had passed, and they want to avoid any of the Ultraman claims of it being similar, they had to go and change the sprite color. Resume. But I mean, it is straight up Ultraman. They're fucking the actual attack and shit, which is fucking amazing, by the way. I gotta admit, I wish that they were in the game more. I like them.
Oh yeah,
like they were fucking idiots. I actually wanted them to just be my bitch, because like they're idiots and I'm like, just do my bidding, but then you know they're not around. So sads, like 15 sads. Oh, the soundtrack. Another reason why the soundtrack means a lot to me is way back in the day we fiddled around with RPG Maker on PC. not on PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, because those versions are fucking trash. I'm talking, and somebody will be like, yeah, but I'm just don't... Stop. Just play the one on PC, you'll understand. But when we messed around with that, I used Breath of Fire music frequently for town themes and shit. Just because it was good. And also, the way that Sean did describe games back in the day, he would describe Phantasy Star as this big epic thing. Like, if he was the DM during a D&D session and shit, and he'd go into this vast amount of detail and would talk about it as if he, you know, he's putting on full display for all of us to see. No, it's just a couple sprites going beep, 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 beep.
I mean, even other games.
I love that.
Think about Final Fantasy VII. Like, and you're in the reactor, and the fucking graphics, like the polygons in that are terrible. Like, you look like a little blob. Like and the backgrounds are really immaculate, but like there's no character. It's just like this fucking Katamari rolls up. You
know how often like the little not in battle, but the in-game ones that are just like marshmallows and sticks. Yeah. How often like they just be doing this and that's like, look at this shit. They're like,
well, like that reactor music. That's what brings it to life. That's why you're like, man, like this is fucking serious happenings right here.
Well, how often have you actually hummed along with music? You know, that's one of those things. Like, you end up getting engrossed with it, and that shit stays with you. Oh god, Persona music.
Into my mind.
Dude, I don't even know the words in some of the songs.
I do. I know all the words to all of them.
By choice?
I have
or
it
by
on my
accident?
MP3 player.
Oh, that's. Well, by choice or by accident?
By choice.
Okay. So he was just like, I know all the words. All the words. Oh, yeah.
They're really good songs.
There. I mean, they were really fucking cool, though.
Look, that person's racing off right now to go get Breath of Fire 3. They got so hyped listening to us. They're like, I need that shit. Yeah. Oh, okay. Another thing worth bringing up, which is amazing because we're talking about like 1997 graphics. The graphics in the game took 3D and 2D, melded them together, because this is like, we're talking high-end Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis graphics, with like lower-end 3D graphics, but they did it in such a way that it holds up now. Like, you can look at the game.
It's a beautiful game.
Yeah.
I was just talking earlier about how vibrant and colorful and how everything pops out at you.
Oh yeah. The sprite work is immaculate. And one of the things I really like about the game, and I know this is just like nitpicking, but like, it's just the speed with which you enter and exit battle.
Yeah,
like,
it's a really
battle transition.
Really big thing.
It's fucking amazing because
you know, that's something that we talked about with Persona 5. Was it was nice, like it happened there. So the transition in and out of battle wasn't just, you know, you're waiting and waiting and waiting. Shit was going like this, and keep in mind, it's
that
not
was
as
really
fast
for its time.
Yeah, back then it was fast, and I mean, for a lot of people now, it's a grind, and it is a grind, but it wasn't as bad of a grind. Is the point. And
it also gets you like back to like the artwork though, and the level design, and just the way they set everything up. Like the fact that you actually fight where you were standing just makes everything again feel much more immersive. Like it's not like, oh, now you're standing in some generic background scene that's vaguely familiar to where you were.
And there's no break in the action.
And as much as I love Squaresoft, there wasn't no summons that took fucking 15 minutes. Like, don't worry, we can go and develop a new RPG in the time that's gonna take for this to come out. But everything about the game I enjoyed. Like, I enjoyed I enjoy all the characters except for using Momo in battle because she's garbage. Fucking trash.
I didn't
in
like Pico.
What, in battle or just like as a character?
As a character.
I mean, he's an onion.
Yeah, he's
an onion person. An onion.
I mean, you said all the characters. I'm clarifying that the game has a sentient onion.
Come on.
Who ends up being the world life tree at the end of the game for no good reason.
And by the way, they based an entire game around Pico. It's called Legend of Legaia. Ever heard of it? By the way, another RPG that all three of us also played together. Yeah. But Pico's cool. I mean, he's like a shitty Pokemon, sort of.
I've used Pico in an entire run-through before, and Pico is a monster, so I have nothing to say bad about Pico.
Okay, here.
Sean's like, stat.
Okay, here. Who is your final team when you end Breath of Fire 3?
Gar and Ryu and I don't know. Optional.
Optional. Okay, so, Sean, who's your final team on this playthrough?
I mean, on this playthrough, it'll be Gar, Ryu, and Ray.
Man,
That's who I've gone through and ended the game with. You would think I would change it
I
up.
normally would like Ray, but I also have this thing when I play RPGs that I like to have like the main love interest on the team, so sometimes he gets treated out.
Jesus fucking Christ. That was...
Waifu. Disney senpai.
Hold on, I want to point something out here. I noticed this on this playthrough. There was one point you're running around, I love talking to all the NPCs. It fleshes out the world. I just always give a shit about that. There's this one soldier. He's fucking knocked out in bed, all fucking sleeping. Go over and talk to him, and he's like, "Oh, Princess Nina. Oh." This is when she's a little girl. But my Ryu sprite might not have shown it, but he was doing this too.
I need an adult.
Ray, Gar, someone, adult Tipo in my dreams, please. Pico when he transforms goes pew 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 pew. Anyone.
Even the transition from child to adult is really fucking cool.
It is.
Really cool. Makes you feel like you've grown with the characters, and you have.
Yeah.
Like,
They made me give a shit about all the characters in it to some degree. And because I've actually been writing like a review. I was telling them about this, like writing down bullet points. And one of the bullet points that I had taken more notice to and appreciation this time is when you go into the camp to go and save, I talk to all the characters. I like that because that's what the Tales series did a lot, where it's just like you'll have, it's almost like having inner monologues and shit. It's just tiny little details of whatever's going on in the story at that time, you get more.
Lots of great games did that. Phantasy Star 4 did that. Grandia did that.
That's
I mean, if you want to bring it into like the modern world, one of my favorite games is The Last of Us, because they do that.
Yeah.
Like when you're running around and you're like fighting zombies, they're talking and monologuing the whole time, and it's fucking amazing.
Naughty Dog's always good about that shit. Anytime,
it's so much more immersive.
Like, you have to understand, for us, like, when it comes to role-playing games, story is very key. It is very, very important. If I don't give a shit about the story and the characters, I can't get into it. That's all there is to it.
I mean, I can't
I
say that because, like, Star Ocean 2 is a great game, and I give a fuck about the story.
I will play through the entirety
The battle
of Star
system,
Ocean.
that's why. The battle system and the setting.
I will play through the entirety of Star Ocean 2 just to play the secret dungeon. Like,
I mean, it's...
I don't give a fuck about
I
anything
forgot, what's
else
the
in
name
that
of the
game.
one bitch that you're able to go and summon with that item and beat the fuck out of?
Gabrielle Celestia.
Yeah, I've always hyped up to just knock her fucking tits up into
She's
her
my
eyes.
experienced bitch just to get to 255.
Also, so no joke, like, when I say, like, all we've done, like, growing up together is, like, play RPGs, I remember telling both these motherfuckers about Star Ocean the entire time, and the way I was selling them on it, I was just like, because we still play games exactly the same, I was like, but it doesn't stop at level 99. And they were just like, what you say? And I was like, it lets you go beyond it. Like, 100? I was like, no. 150? No. 200? You're going 255. And I was like, holy shit, what else? And I was like, it's in space. And like, we haven't had that since Phoenix Star. I fucking know. And it's got over 80 fucking endings. They were just like, it was just, it was fucking ridiculous. Like, and it's funny because, like, as kids, the way that we sold each other on games is identical to right now. Like, if I was like, guys, go up to level 255. I'm like, yeah, but doesn't this guy go up to level 9,000? Like, you can't. But, dude, Breath of Fire, it might not go to level 255. God damn, is it fucking fun, though.
I mean, first off, getting to level 99 in Breath of Fire 3, it would, I mean, like, you could beat the game at, like, 30, 40. Like,
if you're rushing, and you're not experiencing the game
I
at
mean,
that
if
point.
you're rushing it, you're not
Yeah,
enjoying it as much.
but, like, getting